Hello, my name is Nadia Benjadou and I'm Vice President of the eBusiness Suite Product Strategy. And I'm here today to give you a very brief introduction and a live demo of the eBusiness Suite Cloud Manager. The eBusiness Suite Cloud Manager, part of our cloud automation release 18.3.1, which we released only last Friday, the 14th of September 2018. And it is available and applicable for both eBusiness Suite 12.1.3 as well as 12.2 release. The eBusiness Suite Cloud Manager offers a graphical UI. I know you have been waiting for that for a while. It is a web-based application that drives all the principal automation flows, including creating an environment, cloning an environment, deleting an environment, as well as configuring a eBusiness Suite environment on OCI. It was designed with the simplification in mind. At the same time, we have been considering the different tasks the eBusiness Suite DBA perform on a regular basis. Some of you are on a daily basis, of course, with the intention to reduce the effort to perform DBA operations. The Cloud Manager does replace the eBusiness Suite Cloud Admin tool, but provides all the capabilities of the older tool, as well as supporting new flows that were introduced in the latest release 18.3.1, namely the automation of one-node VMDB. Let's drill down a little bit on how you deploy the Cloud Manager. The EBS Cloud Manager is deployed as part of the eBusiness Suite Cloud Manager image. The image can be downloaded from the eDelivery cloud and uploaded to the object storage under your OCI account. You will import this image to your account and then create a VM that will contain all the software library required to run the application. The deployment process itself is very well described in our OBE, Oracle by Example tutorial, named the Deploying the eBusiness Suite Cloud Manager to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Some of the features that the Cloud Manager offers is the multi-user. That's very important because it allows multiple DBAs to manage the same set of EBS environment. It's fully integrated with the Identity Cloud Service, IDCS, which provides authentication services. One thing handy is it's deployed on a subnet that is not directly exposed to the end user network, internet or corporate intranet. Let's look a little bit on the various pieces of the Cloud Manager functionality. So the first thing you can notice in the Cloud Manager is actually the provisioning the environment. You can provision the environment using two methods. You see on the screen here on the right-hand side, there is an option of simplified provisioning as well as advanced provisioning. Let's talk a little bit about simplified provisioning. This option is actually available only if you created a sandbox network during the Cloud Manager deployment and configuration process. It's described in our most note, known as Deploying eBusiness Suite Cloud Manager on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. The simplified provisioning uses the subnet and security list that you actually define in the sandbox network when you create it. Simplified provisioning, really the role is to streamline the process of provisioning a new environment by using preset topology option. Your new environment will be created with a single application tier node and a database installed on Compute VM using default configuration options. The environment, in fact, is created in availability domain 1, and the application and the database VMs are created with the shape to 1. So if you would like to choose your own topology of when you provision environment, then you would choose the advanced provisioning. With the advanced provisioning, you can choose how you configure your own topology for a new vision database, for example, instead of using the preset that are available with simplified provisioning. You can use also advanced provisioning to provision an environment based on a backup that you have taken on-premise environment. And I will show you both when we do the live demo later on. Also, part of the Cloud Manager, you see on the screenshot at the bottom, you will be able to do some sort of lifecycle management activities. You can clone the environment that has been successful. You can also delete an environment. And the cloning is actually very handy and very fast because it uses the low-level technology provided by the OCI, and therefore cloning the environment of EBS on OCI is a lot faster. We're talking about minutes versus hours. Of course, there are more other lifecycle management activities that we plan, things like the elasticity, adding a new VM, adding a new node, the DR, the backup, the restore, the flash, all of those activities, we are obviously working on them as a roadmap items. The Cloud Manager is available today on OCI, and we are working on making it also the same tool, the same Cloud UI that can manage your OCI Classic as well as Oracle Cloud at Customer. Now, what I would like to do is actually do a live demo of the Cloud Manager. So let's just switch to my browser. And let's see. First of all, I'd like to put a full screen. And here you see, this is a live environment I'm using. When you connect to the eBusiness Suite Cloud Manager, you will see 3 tabs here: the environments, the backups, and activities. The environment tab shows you a summary in the section summary, which gives you basically summary of the environment. You tells you here that you have 3 environments. You don't really have any exa database system here. You have 1 DB system database and 2 databases on compute. We have 3 application tier nodes on compute, of course. You see on the environment section, you see all the environment here. You can see there are obviously 3. Each environment gives you high-level detail, like the environment name, the EBS release, the database release, how many application nodes, the database service that you have, the database name, and so on, when it was created, and the last activity on that particular environment. You see on the second one here, we have an environment that has been created on a VMDB system, which is the latest news, of course, with the EBS release 12.2.6 and database 11.2.04. It has 1 application node and so on. Now, before I go anywhere creating and doing those activities, I'd like to show you first the activities tab. In the activities tab, it shows you all the activities you have been doing. For example, here we have some cleaning activities. I believe we have deleted some activities here are aborted, some activities that are failed, we deleted, and so on. So you can, in fact, click on an environment. If it was a successful, then you would be able to restart an environment. Here, because it was cleaned up, then we are not going to be able to restart. It's grayed out. Let's see, one that is here. I don't have one that I can actually restart from here, but that doesn't matter. Let's go back to the backups tab. The backups tab will show you all the backups that you have on OCI, and you can, in fact, use those backups to provision an environment from. So you see here, upon clicking on that little icon, it allows me to provision from a backup. This is the shift part of the lift and shift. So the lift would do the backup from your on-prem, and the shift would be provisioning from a backup that you have under the backup list here. We are not going to provision from a backup, but I will show you how you do it later on from the environment later on. So let's go back to the environment tab and start doing some activities. Let's show the the provisioning, as I said, talked about simplified and advanced. Let's actually show it. Here, when you click on the simplified provisioning, it will give you this window where you can, in fact, you put your new environment. It gives you an indication what the name should be. Here I'm choosing the purpose of a demo environment with EBS version 12.2.7 with the database 12.1. In fact, I'm done. Basically, one click and you will be able to provision an environment based on the setup that you have created in the Sandbox network. You can submit, it sends it as a request, and the environment gets created. As simple as that. This is actually what our colleagues in JD would call it one-click provisioning. So this is, but here it actually does create the environment on your behalf. Let's cancel that because we really don't want to create environment left, right, center. Let's try now the advanced provisioning. In the advanced provisioning, immediately you see there are a number of steps you need to go through to provision the environment the way you want it. And here, the environment you are creating, you have a name of the environment. Let's call it name demo again. Automatically, it gives you availability domain 1 in London. You can change it, to availability domain 2 or 3. The installation type or the provisioning type you can do here, you can do provisioning from a new installation, or you can provision it from an object storage backup that I showed you earlier on. You can, in fact, click, those are the backup buckets that you are available. So in this example, I'm going to create provision a new environment with my own topology, but I'm going to do a new installation. I go to the next. Next will give me the choices that I can choose from a database tier. I can select here from database tier, I can select my subnet. I can select the security list. In the database and the cloud database service, you can actually see we have 3 options here. The first one in compute, the last one in Exadata DB system, and both compute and Exadata DB system, the automations are not new. They were available in the previous release of our automation 12.18.2.1. What is new this time is the virtual machine DB system, also called VMDB system. So for this example, let's choose this one. Let's choose the new automation. Here I'm going to put the name, should be less than 8 character, DB. I can select the shape. I'm just going to, you see there is a number of shapes there. I'm going to choose this first one. The DB software edition, I'm going to choose the enterprise edition extreme performance. The license type, I will keep it included. I already have the license. Or you can say I do a BYOL to pass. I'm not going to talk about licensing here, so let's keep the included. I'm going to choose the name of my PDB. The password it shows you the instructions on what the password should be. It's 9 to 30 characters, ULDA. And make sure you remember the password because they have to be identical. Hopefully they are. Now I can actually go, I filled all the parameters. I could go to next. And here I have the option to choose my own topology of the application tier. So I could say, for example, I want 2 application tier node, choosing your subnet mask, choosing a security list, choosing the shape of the application tier. Again, I'm going to select the first one. I'm going to say non-shared. Here I can actually put the web entry. I can put the domain. I keep the port 80. For the IP, it actually gives you the format that needs to be there. And once you are done, I can actually choose or not the load balancer as a service. Here by default, it's selected, but you can, if you want to use your own load balancer, you can, on-prem, for example, you can choose that. But here I'm going to say, I want to use the LBAS. Once you have entered all the detail, you click on next, and here you have the opportunity to review all the choices you made. And when you are ready to submit, you click on the submit, and the request will be sent and eventually will be provisioned. I'm not going to do that. I will return to my environment because I don't really have the resources to create environments. With that, I come to the end of the live demo of the eBusiness Suite Cloud Manager. Let's go to the back to my slides. And here, as I said, we showed you a demo of the Cloud Manager UI 18.3.1. I'm going to skip all the slides with screenshot, and I would like to give you a little bit detail about how you can learn about EBS on OCI. This is really when we are not in conferences to show you the slides. I would like to show you this. There are a number of assets that are available externally. We have the blog. This is where every new capabilities we publish. One of our colleagues, one of our PMs will write a blog article and publish it. We have a white paper, we have FAQ and so on. Let me show you what they look like. So this is our blog. In fact, the screenshot is really recent from last Friday. The blog went live in the 1st of June 2016. You can subscribe by email, so you see all the feeds. Every time we do something on the blog, you will get an email. Very handy. This is the OTN forum where you can ask questions, and it's a peer-to-peer forum. We do participate, our development teams and support sometimes do participate to see and help customers. This is getting started with EBS on OCI Metalink node. This is basically your UI, your URL that you need to bookmark. This is where every updates will be in this most nodes. This is what we call Oracle by example, OBE. This is how to use EBS on OCI. It's on our landing page, and it shows you all the links to all our OBEs. An OBE is basically a step-by-step instruction on how to do something, how to provision a new environment, how to clone an environment, how to do lift and shift, how to, and so on and so on. So this is very, very detailed steps. In addition, all our sessions at conferences like Open World and Collaborate, we actually go to the Oracle studio at headquarters and we record all our sessions and make them available to our customers, our partners, to our internal people for free. And the URL is learn.oracle.com/subscription/EBS. Although it says subscription is actually free. Please note that the URL has changed as of last week. It's not education.oracle.com anymore, it's learn.oracle.com. And we are ready to go to Open World to refresh all our content that are available and new ones that need to be done. So if you want to follow us, please make sure you have access and are familiar with all the resources that I have shared. And until next time, and hopefully I will see you at Open World. With that, I come to an end, and good luck with our eBusiness Suite Cloud Manager.